Alright, in this video we're going to learn how to take good notes for math class. So you should be taking your notes on graph paper, and the first thing that you want to do is you want to divide your paper into 4 sections. Maybe about 3 or 4 centimeters from the top you can draw a horizontal line, and then again 3 or 4 centimeters from the bottom you can draw another horizontal line, and then maybe 3 or 4 or 5 centimeters from the left-hand edge, you're going to draw a vertical line between the two horizontal lines that you drew. So it should kind of look like a big I with the right side, top and bottom, longer than the left. Okay? Of course, you're going to write your name and then the date and the name of the assignment. For notes, I suppose you could write video notes, but you're going to already write the objective of these notes here in this space, so that's probably going to be similar to the name of the assignment. So if you want to just put, to be in good habits, let's still write video notes, but then here you're going to write the title or the objective of the notes. So we would write for here, we would write learn how to be able to take good notes, or learn how to take good notes. Then on the left side, you're going to write key ideas, key topics or main ideas, maybe a new vocabulary that you learned, and that could be a vocabulary word that I say, hey, here's a vocabulary word for this unit, or it could be a vocabulary word just a word that you're not familiar with that either I'm going to explain what the meaning is, or perhaps there's a word that you are hearing that you don't know what the meaning is and then you want to look it up later. So new vocabulary words. Maybe you're going to write down an equation if the notes have an equation in them, and then the example questions if there's examples, and there probably should be for most videos. On the right hand side, you're going to write a little bit more detail. It doesn't have to be full sentences, but a little bit more written out. The left side is mostly 1 or 2 words, maybe an equation, and the right side is kind of explaining those key topics from the left side. So here you would write out some subpoints. Maybe if we're learning how to do a new operation, you'll write step-by-step instructions about how to do that. And you'll need to leave some space perhaps before the next main topic. If you learn a new vocabulary word, then you can write the definition there or some examples. If we're using a new equation, maybe again some notes about things to be careful of using that equation, or even some examples that follow, and again we have the example questions here. So this is more of an explanation, this is more the key topic. So when you review your notes, you can kind of see quickly, get all the information quickly to review. And then at the bottom, you're going to want to write either a summary or a main takeaway point, something, if you forget everything else, remember this point, or you could write a question about something that you had during the notes. So as you're going through, you had a question that you wanted an answer to, and so you could write that question here, but please do make sure that you follow up with that. Don't just write a question and be content not knowing the answer. So another few just kind of tips about taking notes. It's really, really important. Sometimes I'm trying to get through some material, and sometimes I will give verbal instructions, but sometimes I will not write down every single word that I say. So that's the beauty of taking notes with a video. You can pause the video, you can go back and rewatch part of it, and so oftentimes I will kind of write some things on the board, but maybe not every single step by step. Maybe we're solving an equation and I say step 1, you need to do all of the multiplication first. And then so what I write on the board is actually doing the multiplication, but maybe I don't write step 1, do all of the multiplication first. Step 2, do all the addition first. Maybe I'm just verbally saying those procedures and then solving an example at the same time. So you're going to really want to or need to write down both of those things. Both the verbal procedure that I'm saying in addition to the example. So again, sometimes even if it's a 5-minute video, it might take you 15 minutes to take notes on that 5-minute video by the time you stop and pause and write things down and go back and review. So this is for your benefit. I think it's one of the perks of having a video to learn from is that you can have the ability to stop and go back and rewatch it. But then last but not least, the goal of taking notes and watching this material and then taking notes, really, of course, it is for you to learn, but you should also kind of have it in your mindset that I should be able to give these notes to somebody else who has not watched the video and somebody else who has not learned this material yet, and they should be able to teach themselves the lesson. That can kind of be your target and mindset as you're taking these notes. And then when you look over at the end, look at it and say, could I give this to a student who was absent, or could I give this to a student who wasn't able to watch the video, and they could go through my procedure, go through my key ideas, go through my step-by-step instructions, whatever it may be, will they be able to clearly read it and follow along, and there's not missing steps that you know in your head but you forgot to write down. All of that should be conveyed and written in your notes. And really I find that what happens is when you do that, when you watch a video and you don't write all that down, you think, oh, I'm going to know what this means later. But then 2 or 3 weeks when it comes time to review, or even just time to learn it, you don't really learn it as well as you do when you do write all those things out. So that's going to be the criteria. That's what I'm going to be looking for when I look at your notes, and it's just going to benefit you in the long run, really more than anything else. It's just learning how to take great notes that when you've been a long weekend and you go to review it, you're very easily able to remind yourself of all those things that you learned. So hope you got a lot out of this video, and hope you are able to take good notes in the future. Thanks for watching.